Hey there, I hope you're doing awesome today. Purchasing a home is a huge decision. It's one of the biggest decisions that we will make. Therefore, you want to make sure that you make an informed decision on your next home purchase. I got some feedback from some home inspectors, and I'm going to share some tips in this video that will help you make a great decision when you do decide to purchase your next home. My name is Stephen Kodabash, and I'm a realtor located in the northern Atlanta area, and I get to help people buy and sell houses every day. When you're deciding to make that purchase, right, of a home, it's oftentimes the single most expensive purchase that we will ever make in our entire lives. So the home is definitely very important, and you want to make sure you think through that entire process. One thing that you definitely need to do is to be skeptical of renovations and ask lots of questions. I've been inside some homes where people say, hey, this was completely renovated, and what they do is they just slap some paint on the wall, maybe throw down some new flooring, put in some new countertops, and on the outside looking in, it looks all shiny and with great finishes and things like that. But what's behind the walls, right? What does the electrical look like? What does the plumbing look like? And sometimes people might tell you, oh, we replaced X, Y, and Z. But if you go into a home like that and they recently completed these renovations, they should have records. So ask for a receipt, ask for invoices. That way you can see exactly what was done, because you as the buyer, and even if you have an inspector to come in later, you guys can't see behind walls if they claim they did things with wiring or something like that. You can't see behind the walls. So if you can ask for invoices and receipts, that will help you feel better and give you a sense of ease in your mind that yes, renovation work did actually happen to this house, and I can pinpoint it, I can see it on paper, and I can tell exactly what did take place. Hey, before we go further, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for me. You're awesome. Number two, if you're considering a home that has had some renovations, ask about the legality of those renovations. As a homeowner, it's very smart to get a permit. You want to go to the county and you file a permit for big renovation work that you're doing at your home. That way you'll have a county officer that will come out at the beginning of the project, take a look and see what you're going to do, and then they'll have someone sometimes come in, depending on the project, in the middle of the project and take some more notes and take a look at what you're doing, and then at the very end they'll come in and they'll sign off on the project. So that way, whatever's being done, you know that it's done at least per code, and the homeowner has performed work that is legit by the county standard and code standards. And then for you as a buyer, you'll feel better knowing that, hey, this was done the way it should be. You know, corners weren't cut and things like that, and the work wasn't done that's not up to code. And so that way you'll feel a lot better about purchasing that home. Number three, make sure you look out for an old wiring system called knob and tube wiring. It's an old system where people would run copper wires through a porcelain tube, and it oftentimes did not have a ground wire. So it is a huge fire hazard. So look out for knob and tube wiring. If you see that in a house that has been renovated, or maybe it's an older house and it hasn't been renovated, make sure that you address that, because that's an electrical issue that could lead to a fire down the road. Number four, make sure you look out for water damage. Water is a home's biggest enemy, and it can cause so many issues in a home. For example, if there is a crawl space and there is mold and mildew down in the crawl space, then chances are that home is going to have foundational issues. And if you have foundational issues on a home, it can create a whole host of issues. So make sure that you look for signs of water damage. And if you do see signs of water intrusion and things of that nature in a home, make sure that you coordinate with a home inspector and then get those addressed. Number five, look out for bugs. And I'll tell you guys, even the smallest sign of bugs, that can mean that there is a bigger issue. Because think about it, you might see one bug or two here or there, but what's behind the walls, right? What could be up in the attic? If there's a crawl space, what can be underneath the foundation? So if you see bugs in a space, make sure that you get it checked out very closely, because it could mean there's a bigger issue, especially when it comes to termites. Termites can obviously eat away a home, and they can be extremely destructive. So if you see any signs of bugs, make sure that you get that checked out thoroughly as well. Before you hop off my channel, do me a favor and check out this video where I talk about regret when buying a house. The last thing I want for any of my clients is to have regret and ask themselves, why in the world did I buy that house? Well, in this video, I'll walk through some steps and some advice that you can take so that you don't regret buying that next house. Hey y'all, I get it. I understand. It can be very overwhelming when you're thinking about purchasing a home. There are financing issues that you've got to think through. You got to think about the home itself. You've got to think about timing out the purchase of a home with maybe the sale of another home. So there's a lot that goes into it. I completely understand, but that's why it's important to make sure you surround yourself with a trusted realtor, a trusted lender, a trusted home inspector. There's a whole host of people that work together as a team to make sure that you're making a good decision and you're making a good investment for yourself. I hope this video was helpful in making sure that you think through some of those big things that you need to consider when buying a home. If you have any questions on this, feel free to reach out to me and I'll be happy to help. Catch you guys on the next video.